Professor Kamal. Professor Kamal is now teaching. He's the professor at the University of New Haven. Well, it will be interesting for you to know that he, after he got the bachelor degree from Tribhuvan University in Nepal, he came to study here at Thammasat, getting MA from Thammasat in this faculty. And then he went to study getting a Ph.D. from Auburn University, right? And subsequently he pursue academic career in the US. And he has published, the number of his publication is very large. Over 80 research papers in distinguished journals. So for people here, they are MA students, so you will be a very good source of inspiration for them. Okay, so let's give an applause for Professor Kamal.
I have a loud voice.
Well, you better use the wireless microphone.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to present my paper here. In fact, I consider Thammasat my home. Okay, my home. I'm originally from Nepal. So in 1982, I got a scholarship, post-foundation scholarship to come here to get my master's degree. Achan Araya and Achan Choyu, they were up. We were together in the same class. So after I got my master's, I briefly went back to Nepal, worked, and then I went to Africa to work for 2 years. From Africa, I went to America to get my Ph.D. I always wanted to get a Ph.D. in economics, and somehow I wanted to become a professor in America. Okay. So Thammasat really helped me to achieve my goal. And for that, I'm really thankful to Thammasat University for giving me the opportunity to pursue my career. And also, I want to tell you that the program here was very good. If I didn't have this training, I wouldn't have been able to finish my Ph.D. So trust me, you are in a very good program, and you can achieve a lot. I got my master's from Thammasat University, went to America, got a Ph.D. from Auburn University. It's not in MIT and Harvard, but you know what? If you have drive, if you pursue your drive, you work hard, you can accomplish. I never imagined that I will be publishing so many papers. Some of them are pretty good journals, I should say. I've not been able to publish in AR and JPE. Even this paper got dropped from JPE. They said, submit it to Journal of Economic Perspective. And then we decided to submit it to Oxford Economic Papers. It's under review, but we already found some mistakes already. So you might find some errors again. And also, other thing I want to tell you, if you want to pursue Ph.D. in economics, you have a lot of opportunity. Right now, after the financial meltdown, economics has become very popular in US and Canada again. And make sure your training is good. If you want to go, just apply. They will pay for you. I didn't know that before. Somebody told me here. And so you pursue your dream. Okay? So by telling that, also I want to tell you, I want to start my talk now. Initially, when I came here, I had two topics in my mind. One, we recently published a paper on the impact of oil price on inflation, exchange rate, and output in ASEAN 5. I pick ASEAN countries a lot in my empirical work, partly for two reasons. I come from South Asia, but I do a lot of work with ASEAN countries, partly for two reasons. A, I live here for 2 years, and I love this part of the world. I feel like it's my home. B, data set is very good. When I use data from South Asia, India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, results are bad, not theoretically consistent. But when I use data from Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, data set is good, I find very good results, theoretically consistent. So I publish a lot, I do a lot of empirical work with the ASEAN data. But again, I thought it's already published. I think that was sometime coming. Yeah. A, it is already published. B, that's kind of boring. You are already doing that. So I thought maybe this you might find this very interesting. So that's why I decided to present this paper. And this is really the purpose. This paper has a lot of entertainment value. Okay? So let me start with sit down, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, my co-author is Franklin Nixon Jr. He and me, we were together at Auburn University. So we come up with a lot of strange topics, because these kind of topics, there are two ways you can become famous. A, either you do really path-breaking work, or B, you pick some topics, everybody reads the paper. Okay, when you pick the journal, if there is some hardcore theory paper, people read that only when they are doing the research in that area. But this kind of paper, people read immediately, it's easy reading. People remember your name. Oh yeah, that guy who has done that, Nobel Prize paper, they remember that name. So my friend Frank and me, we have done quite a few papers like that. One of our paper, we published in the Eastern Economic Journal called Blogometrics, meant to get on his website. So these kind of articles are, it has a lot of independent value because it gives you some name at the same time. Now, of course, it is scholarly work in certain new field. Okay, so let me start with the topic is scholarly impact on competition for Acclaim in economics, the Nobel Prize and John Clark medal. Let me start with introduction. What I will do, I will give some background on Nobel Prize. All of you know about Nobel Prize in economics. And after that, I will give the background on John Clark Medal Award. Okay, what is that? Some of you might already know, some of you won't know, I don't know. Okay? So then I will show some link between these two awards. Then after that, we have developed some, some kind of term called, two types of error, okay? Type J error and type N error, okay? So we see that Nobel Prize Committee, what John Clark Award, they have done some error by giving not a wrong person, by giving the winner, and also we'll see that Nobel Prize, some people whose impact was less might have got a Nobel Prize, and we got that error. The same thing is true with John Clark Award also, based on their what is called G index. By the way, nowadays in America, Europe, even here, only you publish, it doesn't mean anything. Because the computer, they look at your impact of your publication through the citation index. So we have used G index to analyze everything in the paper, okay? So, okay, let's start with Nobel Prize in, Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences and the John Clark Medal are the two most prestigious awards that an American economist can receive, okay? So, Nobel Prize, now we call NPE for Nobel Prize. This one? Okay. The NPE was created by Swedish Academy of Science in 1968 and recognizes significant achievement in the field of economics. And winners of Nobel Prize are selected from a list of economists who are nominated by qualified nominators. The nomination process runs from September to February, and the selection process spans from February to early October. The selection process disqualifies DGT scholars. Some who qualify to get the Nobel Prize, but if the person is dead, he or she doesn't get it, disqualified. And often multiple winners are given Nobel Prize in economics. Okay, Nobel Prize was first in economics was awarded in 1969 to Ragnar Frisch and Dutch economist John Emergen. Well, this is their life. This is their life. They live. The second Nobel Prize was awarded to an American economist called Samuelson of MIT. Over the 10 years, Samuelson was followed by three other American-born economists: Kenneth Arrow in 1972, Milton Friedman in 1976, and Herbert Simon in 1978. Since its inception, a total of 45 American-born economists have been awarded Nobel Prize in economics. So Americans, they have a heavy domination, with the most recent being Hansen and Robert Schiller, all of whom shared the award in 2013. The current holder of ENP, French economist John Tirole of Toulouse School of Economics of France, but again, he was in America also for a long time, right? He was at Hopkins or he was at Harvard. He was in America. I remember when I was in course in IO, I had used his book. Okay, now let me go to the John Birch Clark Medal. Many of you know probably, but I didn't know until I went to America about this award. We call JBCM. JBCM was established more than 60 years ago in the name of an American economist, John Birch Clark. Okay. The medal is awarded by the American Economic Association to that American economist under the age of 40 who is judged to have made the most significant economic thought and knowledge. The medal, often referred as the Baby Nobel, was awarded on a biannual basis from 1947 to 2009. Beginning 2010, the medal is awarded annually, a change largely due to the substantial growth in the field since 1940. Interestingly, the winner of the inaugural JBCM John Birch Clark Medal was Samuelson, who was at 32 at that time, is also the youngest winner of JBCM, John Birch Clark Medal. The current holder of JBCM is Roland Fryer of Auburn University. How many of you have read Freakonomics? Remember in the book, he talks about one black guy. He's the one. Okay, he's the one. Because he was, when he was college, like what really, suddenly he changed. Unlike the NPE, Nobel Prize in Economics, the JBCM is awarded to a single economist each year. It is interesting to note that a number of JBCM winners have also gone to win Nobel Prize in Economics, including Samuelson, Friedman, and Joseph Stiglitz. Wikipedia notes that 11 of 17 John Birch Clark Medal awardees, that is 65% of them later won the Nobel Prize in Economics. There is a strong link. Okay, the purpose of this study is, and you know that when you write a paper, you have to have certain purpose, why your work is important. The study extends the link between the John Birch Clark Medal and Nobel Prize in Economics with further analysis. Because we have done this work earlier also. I sent you, right? Usually I don't send book big, but because it was a common, popular article, so I sent you. Okay. Essentially, we are extending that work. The link between the two awards was strong initially, but has weakened in recent years. Noting this fact, we examine the competition for each award with particular focus on the scholarly impact of each award competitors. We explain some empirical explanation regarding the weakened relationship between the John Birch Clark Medal and the Nobel Prize in Economics. Okay. Now, the Clark to Nobel link, a brief history. Okay, also. There is a strong link between winning the John Birch Clark Medal and subsequent selection of the Nobel Prize in Economics. So basically, we showed that in our 2000 paper by Frank and Nixon and me. The strength of this relationship can be seen from the early data. That is, 6 of the first 7 John Birch Clark Medal winners went on to win the Nobel Prize in Economics, 85% initially. Remember that Europe is one part where economics was very strong, America. Other side were far deeper. They were pretty dominant from the very beginning. While 7 of the first 10 John Birch Clark Medal winners, that is 70%, did the same if you look at the first 10. In the recent times, the link between these two awards is becoming more and more weak, as 12 of the first 23 John Birch Clark Medal winners, that's only 2.2%, went on to later win the Nobel Prize in Economics. So this is, you can see that from here, out of first 6, 7 of them, they got Nobel Prize. We look at the first 10, so about what, 50%, this is the data, this one. Nixon and Upadhyaya indicate that for those economists who have won both the JBCM and the Nobel Prize, the length of the time between the winning John Birch Clark Medal and Nobel Prize in Economics is on average between 21 and 22 years. That means if you got Nobel Prize today, on average, those who got Nobel Prize, they got Nobel Prize around 22 years. Given that the first John West Clark Medal was awarded in 1947, the relevant period for linking the John West Clark Medal begins in 1969. 47 plus 22, okay, to 1969, which coincides with the first NPE. Essentially, essentially that's the first Nobel Prize in Economics. Okay. Working backwards, like when Samuelson got that, was the first one. Working backward from 2014, the terminal year linking the John West Clark Medal to NPE 1993. These endpoints established the 1947-1993 time series ratio of JBCM winners that have also won the NPE that is depicted in figure 1. So this is, we got this from our, earlier paper. You see the ratio here. Clearly you see that the ratio is declining, right? Figure 1 shows after some volatility in the beginning, the Clark to Nobel link was quite strong and getting stronger over the early 1947-61 JBCM award period. See here, you can see that, okay, in this one. Figure 1 also shows that beginning in 1963, the link generally weakened, reaching a low point at the end of 1947-1993 period. So you see here, it started declining. We calculated the correlation between the change in the number of NP awarded over 1997 and change over comparable period of 1947-1975 in percentage of JBCM recipient who later won NPE. We found a positive correlation but was not statistically significant. It cast doubt on the supposition of strengthening and later weakening of linkage between the winning of JBCM and the Nobel Prize in Economics. Next, we test for the presence of relationship between the scholarly impact of John West Clark Medal winner I and the probability that he receives Nobel Prize from the Swedish Academy. Okay? We look for probability. For that, we employed a probability approach wherein the probability that the John West Clark Medal winner I later wins the Nobel Prize in Economics is a function of scholarly impact of the research at time of JBCM award, the length of his lifespan between the time of winning JBCM and either his death or the third year. For scholarly impact, the JBCM winners G index at the time of his JBCM award is used. G index, we use G index as opposed to H index as it gives added weight to a highly cited article. Some of you know what is H index, right? Citation. What happens that suppose I publish one article, I publish 20 articles. One article has 1,000 citation, rest article has 0 citation. Then I will become one hit wonder. Okay? It's kind of yeah. So suppose right now my H index is 14. That means at least 14 articles are cited 14 times. Okay? So therefore H index is better measured than the total citation. Okay? So they have something called I-10 index. Like mine, 43 articles cited 43 times. And G index, the G index is better than H index. H index used to be standard practice before, but this guy again, G index, he created this index. It gives added weight to a highly cited article. Problem what happens, suppose one of my articles is cited 5,000 times, rest 13 are cited only 14 times, H index will be 14. And you have 14 articles published in 14 times, you have the same H index. But in fact, I have more impact, right? So that's why that's not really fair. So this guy developed G index, so this is G index you are using. And in America, like once you are teaching job, this is your only earning, this is the only thing you can brag about. You have nothing else to talk about. You have no money anyway, You have money, but you are not very rich, right? So we are using G index. So this is our profit model we estimated. I'll explain this one here. The estimated results indicate that the impact at the time of JBCM recognition is positively and significantly related to the probability that JBCM winner later received the NPE. So, and also the longer the John West Clark Medal winner lives, the probability that he receives Nobel Prize is increased. I mean, that's obvious, sir. Okay, breaking the Clark to Nobel link type J error. One reason when we submitted this paper in JPE or I told friend, look, JPE is not going to take because some of the people we are talking about, the editorial board or referee will be their big fans or students. They might not like it. So I said that it can be some controversial. That's fine. But so what we did, we looked at each John West Clark medal contest where in the John West Clark medal winner did not go to win Nobel Prize in Economics. Okay. For that, we compare each John West Clark medal winners at the time of award, G index, the time of award with those of Nobel Prize in Economics winners who are eligible for the John West Clark medal that year but never won. Okay, that's error. Never won the John West Clark medal. We call it type J error. It's computed by American Economic Association, which involves selection of lesser qualified John West Clark medal candidate and one who faces lower probability of capturing the Nobel Prize in Economics later in his academic career. It's controversial, right? Okay, one example is Kenneth Balding. I remember his name even when I was undergraduate. Okay, so won the John West Clark Medal in 1949 with a G score of 28. Okay, he was selected over Friedman's G score of 62, Lawrence Klein's G score of 32, James Tobin's G score of 18, Stigler's G score of 51, and William Vickery's G score of 90. They all were nominated for John West Clark Medal Award. Okay, but Balding got it. So Friedman, Klein, and Stigler, Nobel Prize winning. They all three. They didn't win the John West Clark medal, but later on they went on to winning the Nobel Prize in Economics, and makes a strong case for type J error for 1949 JBCM selection. Okay. The argument for type J errors in 1963, 65, and 69 and 1975 is relatively weak as the winner's G score met or exceeded that of the other competitors who never received the John West Clark medal. We see a relatively strong case for type J error in 1973 as John West Clark medal winner Franklin Fisher's G score was exceeded by Robert Lucas' G score of 114, William Sharp's 77. Both won Nobel Prize in Economics, but neither of whom won the John West Clark medal. Okay? So the case was similar in 1977 when Martin Feinstein, with 88 G score, won the John West Clark medal over Fama's G score of 112 and Sharp's 106, who later went on to win Nobel Prize in Economics. Lars Hansen's G score 111 was nominated for JBCM in 1985, but lost to Harry Hausman, G score 87, again in 1987. His G score, Larry Hansen's G score 87 was 140. Lost to Stanford Grossman, who had G score of 70, and one more time in 89, his G score was 147, but lost to David Krebs, whose G score was 166. Again, we make a case for type J error. Okay, now breaking the Clark to Nobel link type N error. Now we looked at the type error in John West Clark Award. Now we are looking at the error in Nobel Prize Award. Okay. So next we examine all the NP competitions since 1969 through 2014, wherein the Nobel Prize in Economics winner did not previously win the John West Clark medal. For that, we compare each Nobel Prize in Economics winners' G score with those of JBCM winners who never won the Nobel Prize in Economics. The process reveals instances where the Swedish Academy perhaps committed a type N error. N for Nobel, J for John, okay? N error, which involves selecting a lesser qualified Nobel Prize in Economics candidate relative to those JBCM candidates who never won the NP, Nobel Prize in Economics. The only John West Clark medal competitor involved in the Nobel Prize contest through 1983 is Kenneth Balding. Okay. In 1977 and 1983, Baldwin's G score is 131 and 138. And 1977 Nobel Prize Economics joint winners James Mead and Burton Owen respectively have a G score of 81 and 68. And 68 respectively, and in 1983 Gerard W has G score of 98. Okay, 98. Okay, now here I think the graph one I will put in the PowerPoint becomes. Okay, the Baldwin series. Okay, we call Baldwin saga. Okay, from 1969 to 1991. See here, this line. This is G score for Kenneth Baldwin. Okay, and here. Okay, you see some of them here high score or low score of G score for multiple winners for Nobel Prize. There are a lot of multiple winners. There are a lot of multiple winners. We have a high score. You know, some of them have a high score. Sometimes they it's different year here. It's a different year. But you see that a lot of times, you see that a lot of people with low score they won the Nobel Prize, but Kenneth Baldwin never got it. So Baldwin's candidacy for the NPE extended into the early 1990s. The case for his candidacy became relatively big afterward, okay, by 1990, with exception to 1988. By then, religion had entered the NPE competition with much stronger case than Baldwin. And Hathekar joined Baldwin in 1984 as a contender for a Nobel Prize in Economics, even though Hathekar's G score exceeded the Nobel Prize in Economics winners in 1988 and 1989, it still falls short of JBCM winner Baldwin and religion, neither of whom also won the NPE. Figure 3 represents Hathekar's saga. You see here, see a lot of this bold line is hit one, but see here a lot of times, this is some coming here, but after a certain time he had no case, but before there are several times the winners they have the lower score than him. Religion, okay, religion Israeli economist 1957 dissertation was published the same year in Econometrica. Figure 4 indicates that religion's case for Nobel Prize in Economics is relatively strong throughout the 1986 to 1996 period. It is only around 1997-98 religion research impact falls short of the other NPE candidates and the NPE winners. You see here, pretty high, right? But he never won. Only afterward you see other people have bigger impact. The concluding comments anecdotal support for the notion that type J errors are more prevalent than type N errors found in recent media speculation surrounding the annual award of NPE Nobel Prize Economics. This type J error and type N we created, okay? It's not the media influence. And finally, with this comment, I want to show here the media. You see here, Thammasat University, their prediction was that we will get a Nobel Prize. They identified those people in 2014 with their different G scores. The Wall Street journals, they identified people might get Nobel Prize in 2014. Their G score. Slate.com identified Barrow, Bomber, Diamond, Romer, Kirol, their G score, but Kirol got Nobel Prize. That's in 2014 Nobel Prize. This is all I have to say. And this paper, when I was preparing the PowerPoint, I found some error. By talking to Frank, and he said, you know what, there is some mistake again. We have to fix it. We found, every time you read, you find some mistake. And also, trust me, one of the purpose you go to seminar in the paper is that to get some feedback, to improve the quality of your work, and also to learn from other people. So, if you give some suggestions, comments to improve, or you find some error, I would greatly appreciate it. I would really thankful. Okay. So, if I couldn't answer some of the questions, it's Frank's problem, my personal problem. Thank you very much. similar kind of paper we call the Economics Olympic, we published in Southern Islamic Journal. Then another one I said you right, little more economics, because that's the second one. We have one for European award also, we published in I think some European journal, Economica, not good paper, some paper that comes out of Greece. This is the third one. We have done another one, we have submitted to Scientomatics. This the same paper, what G that we published.
Yes. Before I ask any question, we'll come back to our faculty after 35 years, roughly. We are the classmate with Ajahn Naraya too. I'm just curious, how do you handle people like John Nash, because he's not in economics at the beginning. Somehow he got the Nobel Prize in economics later. So there's no way for him to get into.
That's a good point. I think that issue will come up.
There are some other field that can earn Nobel Prize in economics. How are you going to handle that?
Yes, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think we have to include that one also. Probably, or we have to mention that because it's for the economics exclusively, somebody like So that part I think we have to mention, or we have to do something about that. I think we want to do that. Yeah, there are not only mathematicians, there are some political scientists also. Yeah. Thank you for this comment. I think that's a great comment. Thank you.
Yeah, my question is not related directly to what you have presented, but I wonder why economics was not included in the Nobel Prize from the beginning. But Nobel Prize in economics, in fact, was initiated and financed by the Central Bank of Sweden in memory of Alfred Nobel. It's not Nobel Prize itself.
Okay.
Do you know the reason behind it? Why? And it came much later compared with JBCM, because JCBM started in 1947, but Nobel Prize established by Central Bank of Sweden was in 1968, but granted first year in 1969.
I think we need to improve this one. I didn't know that. Thank you very much for that.
Well, and I've heard some rumor why economics was not included from the beginning of the 5 disciplines. But even up to now, the award is financed by the Central Bank of Sweden, not by the Nobel Prize itself. I wonder if you know the reason.
No, I really don't know. And also your comment about it.
The second question is that since the John Baker Medal has long been in existence in 1947, but why it has not been widely publicized? People know about Nobel Prize rather than the John Baker Medal, because each year people would keep their eyes on who is going to win Nobel Prize in economics. What is the reason why AEA has not publicized?
I think one reason they are giving it to the junior researcher.
Okay, 40 years.
So that would be one reason, So as opposed to, like people, the old presumption is that people who are more than 40 years old, they have more impact on this person. So encourage. So I think that's the reason. I think. Yeah, because it's under 40. It's like mentoring for
young economists.
Young economists. So that is one reason.
Can you give me the first?
Huh?
The first question: why economics was not included in the Nobel Prize from the beginning?
I think among other than pure science, I think they have Nobel Prize only in literature.
Yeah.
Other than pure science.
What are peace? Is it
5
original? Nobel Prize for peace? Is it?
And so, probably 1968.
in fact, economics could not be added to Nobel Prize because it is separate award, financed by the central banks.
Central bank, yeah.
Yeah.
But they call Nobel Prize.
In memory of
Okay.
Nobel.
Okay. I think we have to do some research and include one paragraph of this part also in our paper.
There are no other social science that get the award in Nobel.
Yeah. If they give award for some management science, they still call Nobel Prize in economics. Herbert Simmons, he got Nobel Prize for it. Somebody got management contribution in the management science area, and still they got Nobel Prize. Finance, Pharma got Nobel Prize in finance, but they still call economics. Nobel Prize in economics.
I don't think it was intended to be given to any social scientist. It wasn't in the scope of consideration from the beginning, right? And was only for the scientists only. Yeah.
And they call economic science, Nobel Prize in economic science they call.
But literature
got that.
Yeah.
Literature and peace.
Yeah, about peace prize.
But there was a joke, but I'm not sure whether we can substantiate or not.
Yeah.
They say that Alfred Nobel's girlfriend ran away with the economist.
Oh. Oh.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Okay.
That's why he did this off.
Right.
I have a question. I wonder about the well, may not be related to your paper, but just about the G score, right?
Yeah.
How has it changed to the life of people who got the prize and also
After they got the prize.
yeah, since they got the prize and for us who have
After they got the prize?
yeah, would they be like
continue to go?
Oh, their output. People who got Johannes Clark Award, their is increasing because essentially they shoot for Nobel Prize. But once people who get let me put this way, Nobel Prize, by the time they get Nobel Prize, they have developed a habit formation of doing research, writing something. And also people don't count on their articles per se. I have, for us, we count how many articles we publish, what we publish. But for them, they want to contribute to a certain area. They have some interest in a certain area, they keep on working in that particular area. Like when people grow up, I think, like for example, Tribhuvan, he's really focused on teaching economics right now. That's what he works on. As opposed to a lot of hardcore research papers. And also, for example, after getting Nobel Prize, Paul Krugman, he doesn't really, he writes only for New York Times. And probably he got Nobel Prize in economics because there was a wave or anybody with busy in bush bashing was getting Nobel Prize at that time. So he had not been doing a lot of contribution in his field anymore. So after Nobel Prize, people follow their passion basically.
okay. And what would be the peak time for the G score and like in people lifespan as an academic?
People's G score depends. Even your older articles, how long the impact of your work, the life of the impact of your each output.
Yeah.
Suppose I published one paper in 1998, maybe by 2010 it will fade away. Okay. So I don't know how many people are citing, quantity of money anymore, right? So it keeps on changing. So, like we published one article with Mukti in 2008 on remittance and economic growth, impact of remittance on economic growth, with 37 country data, with some panel data, and by the way, Mukti is a very good writer. Okay? So result was something problem, but with panel I managed to find some results which we can write a paper on, economics result. Then that paper we submitted to Journal of Studies, but rejected initially. And we submitted to European Journal of Development Research. And that paper is picking a lot of citation now. The reason is that it keeps a timely paper. Because remedies was a new research area at that time. But maybe after 10 years, people will not charge the people anymore. So they have a life also.
By the way, I'm not sure about this, but because the Nobel Prize is by the central bank, does it has any bias in terms of selecting the economists? It seems, I'm not sure about this, that they are relatively macro issue, mostly, or some micro finance and related to macro issue. Is there any bias pattern, or is it distributed quite widely in many fields in economics?
The committee involves former Nobel Prize winners and some prominent economists from Eastern Asian countries. So what happens in 2008, after financial meltdown, who got Nobel Prize, I forgot, but Nobel Prize was given to those people who believe in Keynesian economics. Now, what happened? Keynesian economics, I wish I had brought my interview. Like I predicted in one of the interviews with the newspaper, I predicted that this stimulus package is not going to work. By December 2009, unemployment will go to 10%. Just on an ad hoc basis, I told, but it turned out to be exactly true. And it didn't work. But Japan had throwing rocks, it had not worked. So now in 2014, now this time they got Tirol before Pharma, but before that, same people like same rational expectation people, Lucas already got the Nobel Prize, and after that, Sargent was given this, and Singh they got Nobel Prize on the same issue. On that particular theory, contribution, Lucas already had Nobel Prize. But now because Keynesian didn't work, now they are giving to the people who work in the area, telling that, Phillips curve doesn't work, Keynesian doesn't work. So it's a way, basically.
Come on. The JBCM awards have been given to only few universities in the US. If I recall, the 7 for Massachusetts, and then Harvard, and then UC Berkeley.
Yes.
UC Michigan, Princeton. I think less than 10. Yeah, less than 10.
Yeah.
And one time it's with the World Bank.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah.
But what's happened at the universities, there are other leading universities in the US. Does it mean that AEA has been acting as a monopoly body to increase the value of all these universities, so that those who have received the award would go to only these leading universities?
You don't see anybody from UC Austin or Carnegie Mellon or Rice. You know what? These are the provocative issues you pick and work on. People notice you. I think this is the good point.
I think peace cry is very clear. It's always political.
It's all important. Nobel Prize also to some degree, they have, like for example, Jagdish Bhagwati never got Nobel Prize, and Paul Krugman got Nobel Prize so early. And if you read Jagdish Bhagwati's book, In Defense of Globalization, he thinks that, he wrote under him, but Jagdish Bhagwati is more like conservative economics, and Paul Krugman is sort of like progressive. In Nepal, the communists are called progressive, but in America, he's more like more liberal, or more, like big government. So, but in the his books are different, but in Paul, when you read all kinds of different. So, Jagdish Bhagwati criticized Paul Krugman in his book. Even Amartya Sen, he's criticized it. They were colleagues, but so a lot of times people believe that Jagdish Bhagwati didn't get Nobel Prize because of,
Because his race?
Not his race, because of his economic philosophy he believes in. You remember when Hayek got Nobel Prize? Hayek got Nobel Prize was the other guy, Gunnar Vidal. He was so angry. He had a statement that how can you give a Nobel Prize to a person who has no heart? You know that, right? Gunnar Vidal is a sort of like Asian dramas, you know, like basically he believes and we have to work for poor, government to provide this, that, and Hayek, you know, Hayek anyway. So Hayek was not angry that Gunnar, you know, Gunnar Vidal got Nobel Prize, but Gunnar Vidal was angry that he got Nobel Prize. Very angry.
Kamal, there is another question. That for this JBCM, why it is so generous that in some years the awards have been granted to non-American economists?
They have not.
They are.
They are or they are not.
They are.
But you have to work in America.
But AEA, in fact, I think most people would understand that this award will be granted to only the young American economists. But it's not so, because some years the awards have been granted to non-American.
Non-American,
but who are working in the U.S.
Yeah,
but not American citizens.
Yeah, not American, yes. Working in the U.S.
Yeah, why so generous instead of giving to the American economists? Or that year they could not find any qualified American economists?
I think, you know, I have lived in America for 27 years. So once you are there working in the American university, I mean, you are treated like any American. You are treated like an American economist. It's not citizenship per se. It's not citizenship per se. The economists who are working in American university, they got American. So that's what it means. You don't verify the citizenship like running for presidency. But they don't give JBCM award even to Canadian. Even American is involved. So I wonder if some American is involved teaching in Britain, in Oxford or Cambridge, secret JBCM or not. That's an issue. Somebody who is working in America. Yeah, this year, this guy who got this African American guy, he got no JBCM award. You know, it's mentioned in that of economics, he got Congress award. I mean, this thing, when I was putting this PowerPoint, I updated it because this is that award at the time. So anything from
Asian culture. Asian culture.
Yeah, no. Remember, one time I went to Auburn University meeting my professor. He became advisor. I was my second year PhD student. He wrote a paper with me because I was sitting. He was presenting on the floor. I was freezing there. If somebody asked a question, if John Jackson asked, come on, you tell the answer, then what did I do? I was so nervous. No, it will go away. Over time, it will go away. I tell you, I had some Chinese friend from Taiwan in my class. The first time I met with him, he could talk. After 1 year, he was teaching the class. And he was getting very good teaching evaluation. It improves. Okay, again, you know, like, I would like really, I would tell you that the training here, the training you get here is really good. Okay? And so basically, whatever I am now, whatever I have accomplished, is partly because of what I got in this program. And I understand the program has become more rigorous now. So your future, you have a lot of things a lot of opportunities are waiting for you. Don't become shy. You pursue your dream. And you know, like Australia, they have a lot of openings in Australia. I was in Sydney and Melbourne. And now, in the era of globalization, you know, you can work anywhere in the world. You can come back again. In fact, this coming 6 months, I'm on sabbatical leave. So I want to travel and I want to I was department here for 7 years. I would unwind everything, get back on my research again. Okay.
So, you know, do you still have a path to go to win some prize or medal? And in Thailand, we have some kind of prize that try to mimic the John Blake card as well. The similar thing given to Thai countries.
Okay, okay, that's good.
Yeah, Thai young, young in the sense, how young would that be? Below 45?
Below 45, okay, that's good.
But yeah, you know,
chance of getting very much talk about it.
Okay, so
That
that's,
one is arranged by who? I think Central Bank?
yeah, it is
Central
that.
Bank too. Yeah, I think it's Central Bank. That's the God.
Yes,
That's a great guy.
Well, the Economic Association of Thammasat University each year
Okay.
will grant, some award to
Okay.
the promising young economists.
Oh,
Yeah.
And anyhow, the reason why I and also we selected this paper because we found the topic like it's not conventional,
Exactly. Yeah.
but it's still interesting aspect to observe, and also the good question to ask.
Right.
Too. So I suppose it's kind of like very entertaining to listen to as well. And right. So that's let me say thank you very much for coming back and giving us the talk, and also a very good inspiration and advice for the students.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you are interested, once we complete once the final version is ready, I can email you the paper. Once the final version is ready. Again, thank you very much. And also, if you have any, if you have any seminar, conferences, okay, please email me. I have money. I want to come here. I have money, but I just cannot come like this.
This is a problem of the rich ones. They don't know how to do with the money.
I think we have the national conference for economists every year in Thailand. Is it in October?
Yeah.
Sure. National conference for economists.
That's
It's
it.
an annual kind of thing. So next time I'll make email.
Email me the program. I would.
But I think most of them are in Thai. So hopefully they have some translation.
We do not have a lot of money in a lot of schools, but they have given me special budget.
So we have a fight for the
colleague to be token of appreciation. Maybe in the middle.
Thank you.
Tạm ตอนนี้ถามที่ภูมิถามเกี่ยวกับการเรียนก็ได้
เพื่อนจะสนใจไปเรียนต่อเรา
คุยกันดู
Maybe there are some question about studying in US.
Okay, yeah.
มีใครอยากจะไปเรียนต่อ
Let me tell you my story. Listen, when I come from Nepal originally, Nepal was much backward than Thailand, okay? So I didn't know that you get money to go in America for PhD. When I was here, so Kim, I had a Korean friend, after the first semester, come on, you are little good math, your English is good, of course, compared to his English, my English is always good. In America, you get money for PhD. Then what happened, one day, me and Evelyn, we want to watch a movie in American library, then she gave me some magazine, university address. I wrote to them, they started sending a post here. And I took my TOEFL here, then I went to America, Nepal for PhD. And that's how I started working on my PhD. So eventually it worked out, So information is very important. So nowadays, you have internet era, you can see all the information now. It's much easier. And a lot of schools, they have budget, they need graduate teaching assistant, graduate research assistant, you take the GRE. The most important part is math. And the math part, they want all over public school, more than 700. Yeah, more than 700. Depending upon your GRE, look at their program and where you fit in. Okay? It's possible that, if had I gone to some place like Chicago, I might have been flunk in qualifying. So find a school where you fit in. So I tell my students in my class, look, I was written off by my parents. My father thought he was no good to take care of the farm. But after a certain time, I enjoyed economics, here I am. So don't ever think that I cannot do it. You have to ever try. I never thought that I would publish papers in my life. So, like in America, still, they need teaching assistant. you know, for 4 years, for 3 years, I taught one class every semester. For that, they waived my tuition fee, and also I got some money. And she was doing some illegal babysitting. Okay. And after I finished, then I had my teaching evaluation. I started applying for a job. I got a job.